Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Local to Me. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
This is Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, and I'm here with my lovely co-host,
Diane Erb.
And you got your power back?
I did, thank goodness. But you know what? When I was coming in just now, the sky looks dark again. So what's up with that?
I don't know, but I'm going to tell y'all right now. I ain't about no spring storms, summer storms.
Nope.
I don't like it. I don't
No.
like tornadoes. I don't like weather.
Well,
period.
we had a ribbon cutting yesterday afternoon in Alta Vista with Harmon I, which was a fantastic ribbon cutting. I love the turnout. But as I walked in, I kept getting all these notifications on my phone that there were, storms. And then my husband messaged me and said, the power's gone out and the storm hadn't even hit yet. So I'm like, I go to, catastrophic mode. I'm thinking, I'm not going to have a house and how am I getting home? And on the way home, driving in it, I couldn't keep up with you, Heather. First of all, you were somewhere in front of me. I needed
drive
security.
The speed limit and safely, let me just say.
It was scary. It was definitely scary. And then you saw the damage that happened.
Yeah.
In Baxton.
It reminded me on the way to Alta Vista. I was actually driving in Alta Vista, or I was coming back from Alta Vista when the derecho hit all those years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was actually like the roof of a house came off, like the tin roof, like the metal part, and flew across the road in front of me and like a couple of other cars. And I just remember, I think I called Chris. I was crying. I was like, what do I do?
I would
do
have
I go lay in
freaked
a
out.
ditch? I didn't know what to do. So this is why we need Chris. Where's Chris at today?
And I was thinking about our conversation. We were interviewing him, what was it, a month ago? And all I could think of was he was saying, get out of your car and lay in a ditch. And I'm thinking, that's just not going to happen.
And let me reiterate, I wasn't calling Chris Morris crying at that time. My husband's name is Chris too, because it just sounded weird. I was like, I was calling Chris crying.
Oh, I'd be calling Chris Morris crying. Come get me.
Yeah. So, and I did see all the damage. So, prayers to anyone that, has had any damage to their home. And then also I do know I saw this morning where a local lawn care worker, I think, lost his life in Amherst.
Really?
He had a tree fall on his truck. So, that's the thing about weather. It's scary and it's dangerous, and you never want to take anything, for granted. But I'm happy that, today it looks pretty sunny out there. So as long as it just stays that way.
For now.
So, Cinco de Mayo, are you going anywhere tonight?
No, probably not.
Nowhere fun?
Nope, sorry.
Well, I know I'm going to Drifters, which they have half price tacos tonight. So from 4 to 6. But
do they have fish tacos?
Oh yes,
they have the
shrimp.
tuna.
No, yes, they have ahi tuna. They have shrimp. They have chicken. And they have chocolate barbecue. And I'm not kidding.
Shut your face.
No, I'm
serious? Oh my gosh.
No, I will shut my face when I'm eating it later. I'm not even gonna be talking. But yeah, they do. And so they have like half price tacos on Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
God.
So I thought, how perfect. I'll go
Chocolate
there.
barbecue.
It's good too. It's good. They put it on nachos. They put it on. It's just good.
I'm all about both of those things.
I'm gonna be honest. There is not much that I have not had at Drifters that is not good. I mean, just saying.
And they just opened again for the season last weekend, right?
This past weekend. So they're open usually from now through September, I believe. And they have specials every week.
Cool.
Like they have every week, every day, like the same specials.
Yeah.
So.
Did you see those T-shirts they did in collaboration with Jake's Place?
I did. I love
that.
My daughter bought one while we were there last week, and I was going to, and I left and forgot to get one, but I thought that was so cool, and I love the collaboration between the two restaurants. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Well, I was at Jake's Place a couple weeks ago, and the new owners of Drifters had come in and was, they were eating, and I like to see that. It's not all about the competition. It's about supporting each other and, building that relationship. So kudos to both of them.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That's where I'll be tonight. And I think they have trivia night tonight too. So, I'll be out there testing my knowledge, trying to
testing your knowledge.
Trying to win. And here's the thing about trivia night at Drifters. I'm just going to say this too. You can't cheat because you can't get cell phone service down at Drifters.
Oh, no.
You can't even Google nothing. So you got to actually just be smart.
We usually send
So-
one person to the bathroom at other places, and then they'll Google and send it back to us. But yeah, that's not going to work if you don't have cell service.
That's why I like to have my son Hunter. He's like a wealth of knowledge, but useless trivia too. So, I mean, I like to have him with me. He is. I mean, I'm telling you, he really is. But yeah, so I was looking, and there are actually a lot of things going on in May, but this week specifically. So there's National Small Business Week is this week. And then there's also Teacher Appreciation Week happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also National Travel and Tourism Week. So there is a lot being kind of crammed all in. And then we have Mother's Day this coming weekend. And I didn't even know that. I'm a mom, and I forgot it was this weekend. So it's this Sunday.
I did too. We don't really celebrate that in my home. I'm not sure why. It's just, whatever. But my daughter did message me, and she said, what are you guys doing this weekend? And I'm like, what? What's this weekend?
Oh, I celebrate. I celebrate, and I don't do nothing. I just sit there and go, what y'all gonna do for me today on Sunday? So, but I thought it would be I wanted to focus on all 4 of those different weeks with just a quick highlight. And whether we do it all right now, we do have a caller calling in at 12:15. We're going to be speaking with Ann Millihan with Millihan Coaching and Consulting, Inc. And she is one of our speakers for our Empower series tomorrow. And then we're also going to be talking with her about her business and some of the workshops she does, because she works with businesses on everything from strategic planning to time management, how their business is performing. And I think that she has a lot. I actually took one of her courses a couple weeks ago, and it was really informative. I took the one on time management because
Have you been practicing that, what you learned at all?
Kind of. I've been places on time lately. I was here by 10:50, so that was good. 11:50. See, look, I was a whole hour early. No, but I was here on time, so I have been trying to do that and make lists and
somebody else that needs to take that class. The diva walking in now that should have been here 15 minutes ago.
Hey, so now we're getting graced with the presence of our second half of the show guest, Brian Schley.
Brian Schley, the diva.
And we're going to be talking with him
in, yes,
about their show, Life, Liberty, Happiness, that also airs on Grove Street FM on Wednesdays live. And that show starts at 5, right?
Yes.
5 o'clock. So,
or whenever Brian decides to.
Or whenever he saunters in.
Right. It might be 5:30, might be 6, we don't know.
So, so we're going to be talking with him in just a little bit. But I did want to mention, so speaking of Teacher Appreciation Week, the Central Virginia Business Coalition, we were gold sponsors of the Bedford County Teacher of the Year program this year. It's the second year we've been sponsors of that. So, and I want to do a quick congratulations to Matthew Usselton with Liberty High School. He was the Bedford County Teacher of the Year. And I know he taught, I believe it was my daughter. I think it was Autumn. Mm-hmm. So I know he had her. I don't think he had Hunter as a student. But he also coaches the golf team. Is that correct, Brian? Do you know?
He did.
I
don't know if he still does.
Well, either way, I know my daughter loved having him as a teacher. So congratulations to him on and to all the teachers that were from each school, because they give it a different teacher from each school in the county before they pick their actual county representative. But so congrats to them and to all teachers in general, because I'm going to just say it again. I virtually tried to school my daughter this year. Nope. Did not work. She's definitely smarter since she went back a few weeks ago. I can already tell she's doing things better. She's remembering things. And I'm like, oh, look at you when you don't have your mom teaching you.
I know when I homeschooled, that was by choice years ago when my kids were younger. And I honestly went through a lot of coffee cups because I would just get frustrated and throw them across the room and break them. So I was always at, the store buying more. So yeah, I can't imagine doing it full time. So kudos to anybody that does.
Yeah. So, make sure you're appreciating your teacher, not just this week, but every single day, all summer long, even when they're not there with you. Just appreciate them. So that's all I have to say about that. And then also National Travel and Tourism Week. I spoke with Nicole Johnson a little bit via email today because, it is National Tourism Week. And I think right now with the spring and summer kicking off, it's really important to kind of highlight, that travel and tourism season in our area, not just here in Bedford, but throughout our whole region. But I did speak with Nicole, and she is the Bedford County tourism director. And, she was just stating that tourism is is part of economic vitality, and it's a vital part of the recovery effort going on right now in our area. And she was telling me that Bedford generated $120 million in tourism expenditures in 2019. So they haven't gotten the 2020 information out yet. That she said that would come in the fall. But $120 million.
That's insane.
Yeah, that is. And when I was kind of looking over some of the statistics, you would have thought, a lot of businesses in Bedford in 2020 slowed down a bit when COVID hit. But once the summer rolled around, it actually became a destination place because, you look at, we have Smith Mountain Lake, which of course is beautiful. And, there's plenty to do out at the lake, and more people are, now that they're not having to work, actually, they're working from home. So they can do their work in a remote setting. Yeah.
Where are we doing that?
I don't know. All right. We now need a boat sponsor. I got all kinds of sponsors we need. But we need a boat sponsor so we can just hang out on the boat on Wednesdays.
That'll work.
Woody, can you travel to the boat with your equipment?
I'll make it work. Don't worry.
Perfect.
Yep.
So yeah, and then just, all of our parks and our recreation. And I know that Bedford County Recs has been doing a great job about the trails and all the different programming they have for that. So, make sure that you're visiting all that your businesses have to offer in the tourism aspect and in your county or surrounding counties, or the Frisbee golf. Yep, we got Frisbee golf here now that is new kind of to the area, and they've built a really nice course.
Yeah.
So those tourism dollars, they help your area and your region. So, make sure you're going out there and spending some time out in nature, visiting,
Well,
parks.
I think too, even during COVID, during the pandemic and stuff, that we're lucky here in Bedford because we do have so many great parks and outdoor things, Peaks of Otter and stuff where, you don't have to be stuck in your house. You can get out and still enjoy the fresh air. So I think that helped too.
So, and then also I'm going to just mention, because Bedford, we were highlighted as a top adventure town.
Yes,
in our area.
About that.
Yeah. Yep. So, you can go, and I encourage anyone listening, if you're interested in what there is to do in Bedford, please check out the Destination Bedford website. They just, have a new one that they put out a few months ago. So it's destinationbedfordva.com. But check and see all the features. And then if you're listening in and you're not from Bedford, check out your local tourism, Lynchburg, Amherst, all those areas, Campbell County, they have tourism information there. So make sure you're checking that out. Now, just to kind of pull everybody back into our Empower event that we have coming up tomorrow.
I didn't know where you were going with
I didn't know where I was going with it either. For a minute, I was trying to kind of figure that out myself. I fell asleep, but my brain kind of went like, what should we talk about next? You know me, I got all kinds of stuff up in my head, so I got to work it out.
I'm usually up in your head with you, but I wouldn't right now.
You're just blank staring at me like, what? So our Empower event tomorrow, we have 120-ish women coming. I think we had like 3 tickets still available as of this morning, and it's going to be phenomenal. We have some fantastic speakers, and one of them we currently have on the phone with us, and that is Ann Millihan with Millihan Coaching and Consulting. And good afternoon, Ann. How are you?
Hey, you guys. I'm great. How are you all?
Doing good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's like having dual speakers coming in from you and Diane. It's like awesome, awesome, awesome. So hopefully the weather will stave off. I am sitting in my car in a parking lot because, we're in the midst of COVID and remote working and having to juggle dogs and young 20-somethings that are coming back from college. And I knew my car would be somewhat quiet given, sitting inside a car and talking with you guys versus my office at home. So hopefully that will be the case. I hope I didn't jinx myself with having possibly a siren go off or rain coming down. But right now we're all good. So
you sound
thank you guys for having me on your podcast.
That's how I was when I was at home with my daughter.
That?
You'd always see her popping her head in the middle of like a Zoom call. You just see Riley's head just start to, get into the picture because she always wanted to see who I was talking to.
Absolutely.
So, Ann, for everybody.
Absolutely.
Sorry, and we have a lag too, so if I cut you off, I apologize ahead of time.
No worries.
So, speaking of Millihan Coaching and Consulting, can you tell us a little bit about what you do, some of the services you offer to businesses in our area?
Yeah, so Millihan Coaching and Consulting, I started about 4 years ago after spending 20 plus years in the pharmaceutical business with juggling between being a field sales trainer, working in some management and account management, and decided to take a lot of those business skill sets and move them over to coaching and consulting. Driving 750 to 1,200 miles a week wasn't doing well for my health, much less for my back. And that was part of the transitions that I made over to that. And so I help business owners, entrepreneurs, and leaders and executives have a more profitable year and beyond, and giving them tools, creative and innovative, programs and that kind of thing that can help them be more successful is what I do. And some of the services I offer are both individual professional coaching as well as, working with teams in the companies. I also do workshops. I try to tailor a lot of my coaching to the needs, the goals, and challenges that my clients have. So I don't have a cookie cutter approach for everybody because everybody is unique in how that has come about. And I also value the training because I always say, if you're going to put your time, your money, and your effort and energy into me as a coach or a consultant, you want to make sure I have the right credentialing and the right training. And so I did take the time to go through a formal credentialing to be a coach, and the training and even the professional development I continue to do through ICF, which is International Coaches Federation, that I'm a member of both locally and nationally. So that's a little bit about what my business is all about.
I know that when we first met and I saw a list of some of the workshops that you offered, I was immediately excited because they were each individual workshop was something that I wanted to take for myself, even personally, but I also knew would be good fits for a lot of our businesses that were, members of our organization. And the other thing is that they weren't, in my opinion, they were inexpensive when you look at, some of the costs that people have for seminars and workshops. So I was really pleased with that. And I know I did the time management one, and it really was helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I've been places on time.
Mm-hmm. Good to hear that.
I'm taking notes on her behavior to
Awesome.
make sure it's working.
Good for you. That's excellent. Yeah. So a couple of my most popular workshops, I've got two specifically that are super popular, and one that I'm doing next month. And I am making a special offer to the Empower attendees tomorrow for one of my workshops, and that's going to be on May 20th. And that one is from noon to 1. And then I'm doing the same workshop because it's so super popular in an evening time frame, which is going to be on the 25th from 7 to 8. So you can grab dinner with the family and then depart from that for just an hour to sit down. And that workshop is the professional portfolio workshop. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from that one. It's a unique way of showcasing your skill sets, showcasing who you are, what your business is all about, or what you're doing in the community, whatever landscape you want to tailor that professional portfolio to, whether it's an interview process or whether it's a business presentation type of a portfolio, you can basically be super creative on that. But I help you dig deep into understanding what the important pieces are for that to really make it a conversational piece to have with prospects, clients, or potential interviewers for that next level career move or job. So I'm doing that workshop twice this month. But the other one is also turning objections into positive outcomes. And gosh, we all get objections. And the first thing we want to do is jump on our soapbox to defend our turf. And I'm as guilty of doing that as anybody else, but this is a process that can help people be able to carve out more information from the conversation that they're having with that person who has an objection, to be able to know what the right approach might be, but also gives you a little bit more information to know how to make that next action request or that next sell of that client. So those are my two really popular ones that I've done so far, and I do it on Zoom. So, it doesn't matter where you live and where you're from, you can jump on.
I want to take both of those workshops, but I think the one about the overcoming objections would definitely be good for, I think, someone kind of starting off in sales, because I think a lot of times they get in there and then they get told no, and it just kind of crushes them, and they're just like, nope, I'm done. And they think, oh,
are you talking about me? Because that's how I am.
No,
I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
That was not specifically for Diane. But I do think that would be a fantastic workshop for, like I said, people entering sales or where they have to work with other people. But the portfolio one, I really want to do them. So now that my time is after tomorrow is kind of not as busy, maybe. I want to do those.
Awesome. I love it. Well, and part of that workshop, I also mail you the binder and the dividers that you would utilize in your physical portfolio. So that covers part of that cost, that $35 that you pay for the workshop. I mail you that. So my request when you register is just pop in a mailing address, whether it's a PO box or a physical address that you need me to send it to. And before we start the workshop, I try to get it to you. I can't promise, because we all know that COVID has slowed down a lot of deliveries, regardless of whether it's UPS, FedEx, mail, whatever. But as soon as I get the registration, I try to pop it in the mail the next day, if not that same day. So that is included in the $35 cost. And the creativity can be limitless on how you want that to look as far as your portfolio. But, I really feel like it's a great piggyback to the Empower Conference, because we're talking about women who, and men for that matter, because I know we've got some men that are coming to the conference, which is kudos, awesome, that, are really wanting to have their voice heard, their, deserve to have a place at the table, to feel empowered, that word. And a professional portfolio really collectively puts together things that you have done so well that when you're able to reflect on that, you're ready. You're ready to conquer pretty much whatever comes your way with having something like that in your toolbox, because you're able to show and tell, hey, I deserve a seat at the table. I deserve this conversation we're having. And I deserve this ask that I'm asking of you, if it happens to be the sale or if it happens to be, an action request as a business owner or as an executive. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you have your own business or you work for somebody else. It's definitely a powerful tool to have in your toolbox.
I definitely agree with that, because as somebody who has to go out and ask, other businesses and things like I do, even for sponsorships for events. And it's always easier to, when you have something to show someone actually right there that they can look at, or, you know, tangibly open up, whether it's a booklet or like you were saying, like a binder with information in it, it kind of ups the quality of that ask.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll have my own, you know, portfolio to share and show tomorrow at the vendor, after the seminar, when we have the vendor tables and that kind of thing that I can show off to others, so they kind of have an idea of what sort of the model of it all, not what it's going to look like. The beauty of it is that it's going to be unique for you, because it's unique for what you have as far as your skill sets and what you have as far as your accolades, what you have as far as your experience, and what business or what sort of cause you want to showcase within the portfolio.
And you're going to be talking tomorrow about turning negative thinking into positive, correct? Yes. I am super excited about that, because I think it really enhances the conversation that's happening tomorrow with the other speakers, and providing, you know, some suggestive tools that might work for everyone in the room, whether it's, you know, negative thinking when it comes to personal or professional, and how do you move past that. We'll talk a little bit about mission and vision statements, and, you know, some of those are great, but if it's not something that you're passionate about, or that it really resembles your views, your values, that kind of thing, then you're not going to be carrying that torch, so to speak, with your values, with your mission and vision statement. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how that intertwines with it. Mm-hmm.
I am so looking forward to hearing that, Ann. I know with the negative thinking, I mean, if we're all honest with ourselves and with each other, I mean, I feel like we all tell ourselves stories that are not true, whether it is professional or, you know, just your personal life. And it's learning to step back from that and asking yourself, you know, is this a true story? Is this really happening? You know, am I letting my emotions get in the way? Or, you know, just recreating a whole different negative vibe. And I don't want to be interrupted when you're talking about that, so I want to be taking notes.
Bless your heart. Thank you so much for the kind words. It comes from so many different places, and I'll share a little bit about what that looks like and what gets in our way. And you know, I look at people who are trying to go past what we've been dealing with for the last year. And what I'm hearing a lot is the comparison of, you know, well, this year compared to last year. And I'm like, you know, don't compare. Don't reflect back on what last year gave you, because last year wasn't a normal year. And when I talk about that, I mean more in the sense of business comparisons than anything else. I mean, if you're able to rise above it because you're able to make that pivot, kudos. If you made that pivot and you had success with it, that's awesome. If you didn't, don't beat yourself up. And we tend to do that right now a lot, because we're trying to come out of this in some positivity, but then, you know, we're creatures of habit of okay, well, what I did last year, this didn't work. Well, it didn't work because you probably didn't have anybody show up because of what we dealt with. So, you know, that just to me, for me at least personally, has just magnified some of those voices that we tell ourselves, some of those conversations that go over in our head that can be negative. And so you have to limit, you know, a lot of that as well. So I agree entirely on that.
Well, Ann, we are really excited to see you tomorrow and to hear you speak. And for those that may be listening in, or, you know, listen to this on our podcast later, can you give some information on how they can get in touch with you if they're interested in finding out more about your services?
Absolutely. So it's Millihan Coaching and Consulting. You can search me on the World Wide Web for that, or you can go to my website, which is Anne, ANNE, Millihan, MILLEHAN. Hopefully I said that without a whole lot of Southern accent, .com. So it's AnneMillihan.com. And you can find both my workshops and all about what I do and what services I offer on that website.
Thank you so much for calling in and speaking with us today. And like I said, we are so happy to be a part of this event with you tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to seeing you and, again, hearing you speak.
I am too.
Thank you.
I am super excited. I am so excited to see faces tomorrow and smiley faces and empowering faces. So it's exciting. I appreciate being a part of this. So thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Anne. All right. Well, that was Anne Millihan. And like she said, you can check out her website or Facebook page and get in contact with her if there's anything your business may need. Like I said, she does everything from strategic planning to your business performance. So lots of things that can help you kind of better your business model there. So wanted to now, I'm going to touch base really quick, bring it back to National Small Business Week. This is a week that's actually really important for us here at the Central Virginia Business Coalition because that is our purpose and our mission, which is to help small businesses grow and prosper and to support them any way we can.
Yep.
So instead of having a trivia question this week, we decided that we are going to ask our listeners or anyone who downloads today's podcast and listens to it to go on our Talk Local to Me Facebook page and leave the name of a small business, like our page, and then tag a small business in it that you plan to support this week. And it may not even be this week, this month, this year. Just let's throw out some small businesses.
Last week.
Yep, give them some love. And we will wait a couple of days, and then we will pick a random winner from the post that we receive. And, then we'll get with you and get you a gift certificate to one of our many businesses that we have that have donated gift certificates for us to give out during our trivia. So no trivia question today, though. So you don't even have to even put the thinking caps on. Just throw out your businesses. And again, that's Talk Local to Me, and it's on Facebook. Make sure that you follow us, and then you'll know when we put up information about upcoming speakers, or even when we upload our podcast, because we put it on there and let you know, hey, go to Spotify, or download us on Apple, or go to grovestreet.fm and listen to us live. So if you're following, then you'll get those. What is it? You get the little the notifications, right? That
yes.
We're live. So,
yep.
Yeah, so you're going to want to do that. Now,
I'm sorry, I'm just sitting back watching you.
I don't know.
You amaze me.
What am I doing?
I don't know. You're just talking. I like it.
I feel like I do talk a lot.
I'm not saying that. I
Mm-hmm.
prefer you talking.
I feel like we've had multiple shows though where I've gotten burned by someone that's been like, "Oh yeah, Heather talks a lot," but it's funny because I don't catch it because I'm talking too much till afterwards when I go back and I re-listen. Then I'm like, "Oh, burn, good, she got me." There I am. But no, so
and here we are.
I will also mention our the Healthcare Heroes Parade that's going to be coming up.
The quick one, yes.
Yes, the quick parade. That's going to be coming up on May 12th.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be one both in Bedford and in Lynchburg. And the CVABC has partnered with Centra and Nadine Blakely to help put on both of those parades, both in Bedford and in Lynchburg.
Yep.
So I know we have a good 30-some participants now, I think, in Lynchburg.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Bedford is getting up there too. So just a parade where we are asking businesses to come out and show support for your local healthcare workers. They have really been there for us this past year, some of them working I say overtime, but it's more than that. I mean, they've been working double, triple shifts. It's, some places, and really given their all. So it's just a great way to recognize them and say thank you. So make sure that you can find out more information on our website, cvabc.org. I also know Centra, their Facebook page and ours as well, has information about that. And if you want to participate, you can contact us for that too. So we are going to turn it over now. There's so much great programming coming out on Grove Street FM. Woody.
There is, yeah.
There is. We actually are. Before you introduce the next guest, I know he's over there patiently waiting. We do have
in his diva chair.
In his diva chair, we have a new podcast from our police department here in Bedford, and I'd love if you don't mind, I'd like to play a little intro.
I don't mind.
All right,
yeah.
so I'm gonna play that real quick for everybody.
Hello, I'm Todd Foreman, Chief of Police of the Bedford Police Department. I want to invite you to subscribe to our new podcast, Cop Talk. They'll be coming soon. In this podcast, we will discuss real-life issues, real-life stories, and introduce you to the police officers of our community. Subscribe to Cop Talk today, wherever you listen to your podcast.
So yeah, that's we have recorded one episode, but that will be mixed into the lineup, I'm sure, during the day. But that's some more local content for everybody.
I like that. That was
I
a
do
good
too.
promo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I immediately
He could do our promo.
I know. Let's contact Todd.
Yeah.
I immediately was like, oh, let me pay attention.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
When it's a cop, you need to pay attention.
Well, it's just going to be a great podcast and show because you'll get to know the officers that are here in town, and a little, like, he's going to touch on some subjects that we all are wondering questions about. Like, because I was asking him, like, do you all tense up as much as we do when we see the blue lights behind us and we think we're speeding? Or how do you feel about legalization of marijuana? Stuff like that. So it's going to be a good show, and again, more local content.
And they're doing cop camp again this year. Mm-hmm. I know my daughter's going to that. Yep. My older two loved cop camp. This will be her first year going, and so I'm really excited for her to do that. And he was telling me that they had gotten some funding for it this year, so mm-hmm. That's good to hear.
It's gonna be great
as well.
Yep.
And then also you have a show that was local just as a podcast, but now I heard rumor that they're going to be live soon, and that's Cool Talk.
Yes, we are transitioning to a live show.
Yeah.
For Brown's Heating and Air's Cool Talk. So that's going to be fun. So every Wednesday is packed with local live shows. It's fun. It's a fun day.
And he's going to be following us at the 1 o'clock hour.
Yes.
Good luck, Brandon. No, I'm just kidding. I know Brandon's listening, so I'm just saying. No, but I've been a guest on Brandon's show, and he's a lot of fun to talk with, and he is so good in the community with what Brown's Heating and Air, with what they do, and even just himself, what he gives back to the community. So
mm-hmm.
I love his show.
Yeah.
But another show that I love to listen to, I love to not win my gift certificates when I call in for trivia and all that good fun stuff.
You got to be correct.
You knew that. I was correct. Y'all just hung up on me.
You got to have good cell service.
Jeez, I'm telling you what. I sent a strongly worded email to Sprint about that. I was like, you cost me my gift card. But yeah, Life, Liberty, Happiness. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
I love your radio voice.
Yeah,
very comforting.
I can transform. I'm a transformer.
Transformer. Yes. So, we wanted to have you on because I think it's a great idea for us to be cross-promoting our shows and talking about them and, building up Grove Street FM and our listener base for everybody. Mm-hmm. So, for anyone who listens to us and may not know about Life, Liberty, Happiness, tell us a little bit about the show.
Oh, well, I describe it when people ask me about it as kind of the Seinfeld of radio. Just, it's a show about nothing. We don't really have any sort of agenda or anything. It just kind of goes, there's one week we may have a guest that's sports. The next week we may have a political figure. The next week a journalist. It just all depends. There's really no... And we have sort of a format, like when Woody and I first just started discussing the show, seems like forever now, doesn't it, Woody?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was back, I don't know, When was our first one? October?
October, yeah. It was back. It was back last fall.
I was growing up. I worked in an office while in Wilson, and so you sort of turn on a radio show and you listen, and in the mornings every day it was Imus, and I became a massive Imus in the morning fan, and I don't know, he was a very entertaining person. So when I said I kind of liked their format, the way they did things, so that's kind of our format. We just DW is kind of a co-host. He's always on the show. And then we try to bring in special guests each week. Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. Occasionally we have, let's see, our guests. We've had Carol Swain, Dr. Swain, Fox News contributor. Mm-hmm. She'll be on next week, right, Woody?
Yep, next week.
Yep, so she's coming back around. And you may or may not have heard.
Waiting.
I was waiting. I'm wondering, do we have the clip?
Did you see how he was building up?
Hi, Brian.
Yeah,
wait.
we've had.
Where's the clip at, Woody?
Hi, Brian. Happy to be with you.
So we were very fortunate to have Megan Kelly on, and we're hopefully we're going to have her on again here in the next couple weeks.
Oh, nice.
So really, we try to. Our main focus is entertainment. It's really to entertain people, but also we have a segment where we do local news, as well as DW's segment, which is good Lord,
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Especially Brian.
I forgot.
Brian doesn't even know.
So
40W.
I got laughing at you two with the popping of the roof. So this is an old building. And the roof is popping, and watching them look at the roof while doing an interview cracked me up. So
I thought there were mice in the ceiling getting
no,
ready to fall
so
on us or something.
it's the heat.
Oh,
Okay.
So it literally expands and
we're not
contracts.
used to heat being anywhere in this building.
I mean, we're usually cold.
Never heard that before.
Well,
Landlord up this game.
it's getting a new roof next week, I think. So
Oh, nice.
Here we go.
yeah, so Woody will be happy about that. But
That'll keep me happy for about a week.
if you think it's loud, you should come in here at nighttime. There's some creepy things that you hear
Oh, no.
that will terrify you.
Like paranormal stuff or animals roosting
Okay,
somewhere?
so when it was Liberty Landscaping, I used to come down here at nighttime. This is what a good boss I am, by the way. So I would come down here at nighttime and put wood in the stove so that when the gentleman who came in and ran Liberty Landscape, it would still be a fire, so he wouldn't have to start a fire every day. So I'm down here one night, and this chair that I'm sitting in now, I used to come down and sit and just start a fire and sit by myself for an hour at a time. But also, I would split wood in the warehouse. So I'm down here one night, and it's, I don't know, 11 o'clock probably. And I hear this noise, and I'm in the warehouse splitting wood, and I stop, and I look over my shoulder, and there is a Bedford police officer, and he just saw a light and was checking in. But when you have an axe in midair and there's a police officer, I'm like, yell next time, something, blow the horn.
Yeah, people just sneak
Oh,
up.
man.
Yeah, it scared the what out of me.
So what you're saying is this was your man cave?
Yeah, this
Were
is
you
where I would
hiding
go.
from Ashley's
Mhm.
honeydew
Yeah.
list?
Oh, good Lord! You can't hide from that.
I gotta go stoke a fire.
Really?
My chair.
I got to be a good boss, honey. I'll be back.
Yeah,
6 hours later.
it's true.
You smell like whiskey.
Oh,
I always kept the bottle down here. Yes.
Where's that at?
That'll be in the
Searching
new podcast studio that we're thinking about adding in the warehouse.
That's
That'll be
right.
the whiskey den.
Yeah.
That'll be
Hopefully,
for the late night shows.
I need to be all about that.
we are
So,
looking to expand Life, Liberty, Happiness and move into the warehouse and have our own studio. That is our next big.
How do y'all get so fancy?
Um,
Because you own the building?
He's the one building the walls. So
so I thought about doing. Actually, I'm thinking.
We have a little
about,
talk local to me closet.
yeah,
Stick us in.
Yeah, you'll be outside in the mulch bins. That'll be fine.
Well, see, I'm thinking of making the walls where one side, could be the studio for Life, Liberty, Happiness and spin the wall around, you could have a different studio. We can make this thing.
Oh, I like
Look
it.
at him.
We're getting high tech and
Kind of like those old school game shows where, like they'd spin around the things. Yeah. There you go. We have Woody as Vanna. Here's our shows.
Let's Woody as Vanna.
Oh boy,
That would be
We
great.
all
Word
dream
of the
about that
day.
tonight.
Well, I tell you what, you guys, I mean, you are entertaining.
Thank you.
I have said over and over again, when my husband was working in Maryland and I was driving back and forth, I get tired of singing because I can't sing. So, after about 30 minutes of that, I'm just done hearing myself. So I would put on y'all's podcast and listen to it. And I'm telling you, I know those travelers thought I was ridiculous because I am like hovered over the
Yeah.
steering wheel laughing at you guys.
Yep.
Well-
I normally can't catch you guys at 5, so I will go back and listen to the podcast later in the evening, and I'll be laying there and I'll have like my earbuds in, and I'll start just like I'll bust out laughing to something you guys say. And my husband's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "Just Life, Liberty," and then I'll wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and can't sleep. I'm like, "Oh well, I'll just listen to Life, Liberty, Happiness," and I'll sit there and
Yeah.
just laugh. So it's definitely entertaining. So if you haven't been listening, y'all need to definitely follow them. Y'all have a Facebook page
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we have a website, Facebook page, everything. Woody handles all that. I just provide the entertainment, man.
He just shows up late for any show he wants to be on, and that's it.
My whole thing with interviewing people is, and I just kind of learned this from watching what I would call unprofessional people who were professionals in the world of journalism and things like that. But they always, when they did their interviews with guests, I always felt like they asked the questions that they wanted to know the answer to, and not. That's like Imus used to say all the time. What sports question hasn't been asked? So after a game, oh, that was a great performance. I mean, it's like, after a while, you're going to get the same answers. Well, the team was great. So ask the questions that. So I don't, when people come on, I don't try to ask. Like a lot of people ask me, how come you didn't ask Megyn Kelly about the ending of Fox and all that? Because I didn't really care. I mean, I don't care about that. That's her personal stuff, and that we're not a podcast to get into sensationalism or things like that. It's more of just what she's currently doing and things like that. And it was that's what I've tried to do with our guests, is just stay on that and not get into gotcha questions, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Well, I think you add more value to their interview doing it that way, because then they're speaking about
Yeah.
things that are interesting to them, and there's more of an opportunity that they'll want to come back on the show. Like you've got Megyn coming back, so
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah, for me, like we're hopefully in the near future we're planning on having Jim Messier on, and it's not to talk about Arthur's jewelry. I mean, obviously anybody who lives here knows that, but do people know where Jim, when they moved here, where they came from, things like that. Those are the things that I want to know. So hopefully we get enough people listening. I think we're up to 6 listeners now.
Yeah, 6. It fluctuates between 5
I
and
don't
6.
know. You've been on our show now, so maybe you'll get 10.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
Get 10.
boost you up there to 10.
No, I think I've been pleasantly surprised. And we've got some neat things that we want to try in the future with highlighting the Battle of the Bands, having possibly the bands come on our show and play before they go to just try to get people to know them more.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, do things like that. Just highlight stuff like that. So that's us.
So you guys all participated in an 80s night. That was
Yes.
that was hysterical.
Oh, here comes our train.
Is that a for real train or a fake one?
I think that's
that
a
for
for real
real?
train.
That's it for. I'm not doing the sound effects.
I'm looking over there like
I've been so used to us not having a train go through on Wednesdays. Like since we moved to Wednesdays, we have not had as
know.
many trains going through. So,
And who was our train sponsor?
so you know what? Our train sponsor today is
Is that a sore subject?
it's still going to be no. You know what? Because I feel like Libby didn't get her ultimate train sponsorship because the trains won't coming through. So you know what? We're going to give it back to Easley Hedrick today with Easley Hedrick Insurance. Libby Orman. She is located right over in the Food Line Shopping Center, And so if you have any needs, home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, if y'all listened in, she was on the show last week, and she kind of went over a lot of the coverage that they have with Easley Hedrick. So they are our train sponsor today. And if you'd like to call in and get your gift certificate, you can reach us at 540-712-6221. And I now have that memorized. Look at how good I did.
Well done.
I know, right?
I don't even know it yet.
Yeah, so give us a call and tell us that you heard the train.
So Brian, I met you.
Main Street.
Yes, I'm trying to think of how many years ago that was. 5 or 6 years ago now.
Yeah, probably 6.
Good gosh,
Mm-hmm.
we've aged. But I have always found you, and it's weird that you're at my back. So stare at my ponytail while I'm talking. I have always
talk behind your back.
Isn't that what y'all do? No, I'm just kidding. I have always found you one of the most interesting people to talk to about anything. But I always found it interesting when you showed me those building renderings that you did. Do you still dabble in that? Or
Yeah. Listen, I don't like. My wife lived here long before I did. I came here because this is where she lived and wanted to stay. I mean, it's not like I'm from out of state. I was just from Campbell County, Lynchburg area. But once you get here, you kind of are in awe of the whole experience. It's different. It's not just a small town. It's a small town where you kind of know everybody. But then again, I think you have enough space to where you kind of have time to yourself too. I don't think people are overly Karens. Is that the right term nowadays? We don't have a bunch of Karens in Bedford. We got a few, but
To all the Karens out
Don't
there.
call our show right
we
now.
just lost 6 listeners. All of them named Karen.
So I thought anything I can do to give to the community. It was not something I grew up with. You should donate to the community or you should do things. It sort of morphed into that. I ended up wanting to do those things. Mainly because what's the noise, Woodrow?
I know, right?
what is
outside.
it?
It's probably my guy. So my company is located next door. To plug my company there for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And 99.9% of the time they're on job site, but they happen to be fabricating a bunch of stuff today. So that's probably one of them fabricating something.
Oh, interesting. So
open
tell us
something.
about your business.
Structure Foundation Solutions is most of our work is commercial and not a lot of out of town, but Charlottesville, Culpeper, Northern Virginia, areas like that. We drill steel in the ground. For foundations. So land is getting hard to come by, so they're building in worse areas. And so we drill the steel in the ground. You put your footings over top of the steel, and you don't have to worry about whether the ground is bad or not. So a lot of our stuff's commercial. There are other companies that handle more of the residential sector. And so we kind of stay out of that lane. There are moments where we get people calling us, and we only do residential when it's referral basis. So that's that business.
Now, didn't you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but for some reason I'm thinking that you guys are the ones that put up that brace for the middle school. Is that right? The Bedford Middle School?
No. I sort of, in the industry that I'm in, you kind of get to. So here's the thing I don't think people, I'm glad you brought this up because I really want to speak about this. I don't think people realize how talented Bedford is. The people like, and they're not just Bedford, but surrounding, like people like Steve Lloyd with Lloyd's Concrete.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not, I don't think people understand. When I say top, he's not, top in Virginia. If ever there's a difficult concrete job, people are calling Steve Lloyd. That's just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
We did a job just recently in Charlottesville where a pretty big concrete contractor was working on it, who we've done a lot of work with in the past. And they do a phenomenal job. But then I noticed yesterday on Lloyd's Facebook page that they were pouring concrete on that job. And so the first thing one of my guys said is, wow, how good is Lloyd's Concrete that a competitor, if you want to call it that, is hiring them to pour
Yeah.
the slab. So that's how the talent that we have in this area is remarkable. And it's not just him, but so you kind of run into these people, and the ones, Commercial Steel Erectors out of Lynchburg is people know them everywhere because they are such a finite company. They know what they're doing and they have the crews to do it. So when that fire happened, you kind of knew, because I have a background in structural, you kind of knew that building was unstable that night. And the Leo, I'm off the top of my head, I can't think of his last name. Anyway, fire marshal was there, and they were really wanting to get inside the building so they could, because as this is going on, you're damaging any evidence. Well, the only way to get inside that building was going to be to knock a hole in it, and you just couldn't do that with the shape of the building was in, so it had to be shored up. And so, my recommendations were Commercial Steel is the only place I know where to go where you could get that service, and they did a phenomenal job in the middle of the night. I mean, they're there, when people are sleeping, they're shoring up that building. So, it turned out that it's, the shoring is still there and probably helped that back corner. But that's kind of, in my business, you kind of meet some talented people, and what amazes me more than not is they're from this area.
Yeah, you're right. We do have a lot of talented people in this area, and so about community too.
Yeah.
Always willing to jump in and to help, and
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, the Lloyds are actually my next door neighbors, so like they're all around me. Like it's
The
him.
compound?
I say they're all around me because they really are. They're like all right there.
The Lloyd compound.
But they are but they're really hard workers too, because you will
great
see
people, yes.
Yeah, you'll see like Duck. I know his son. He's always leaving at like 5, 6 in the morning,
Yes.
heading out.
Very
and
dedicated. Yes.
They are very hardworking, and they do a lot. They did like didn't they do a thing in Texas where they had like
The largest pour, or the largest pour.
the largest pour? It's like what is it, Guinness Book of World
Yeah,
Records?
I mean they've got
Wow.
yes. I mean, and Steve is sort of. I mean, he consults all across the United States. He gets he flies to different places and he consults on major projects. I mean, he is definitely. Matter of fact, they invented their own concrete pour. It's a and I'll butcher it, and Steve will call me and go, "What are you talking about?" But it basically adding fiber to concrete, and it's pretty interesting. I mean, it has revolutionized concrete pouring in this area.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Well, you are going to be back on this evening.
5 o'clock,
5
yeah.
o'clock. Do you have? Did you say you do, or you don't have a guest?
we do.
for
We
today?
have, oddly enough, we have Coach Dunton,
Ah.
former basketball coach
Former.
at Liberty High School. So we'll touch base a little bit with that.
I was just going to say, how much are y'all going? I know that's kind of a
Well,
touchy.
We'll touch base a little bit because stuff like that needs to be talked about.
It really does.
But I've known Randy for a little while, but I will say this, that I really would like for people to know Randy more so than the basketball coach. He's a very interesting fella, and the stuff that he's doing right now in Lynchburg, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Legacy College, but he is doing a phenomenal job. I think he sent me a text this morning that they were up to 34 students at this, which is phenomenal. And so he does a lot for the community that he doesn't get enough credit for, whether it's basketball or whether it's education. He's but his journey is very interesting. I mean, from Anchorage, Alaska, he started in Maine to Anchorage, now here. It's just, we're going to ask those questions so people can kind of get to really know the real the real guy, not just the coach.
Well, I know how well respected he is in the community, and he touched, a lot of kids, a lot of basketball players.
He's got a huge heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that'll be I'm gonna have to try and tune in live for that one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be listening because I'm a stalker.
I'm not. I'm gonna be at. I'm sorry because I'm gonna be at Drifters Eating, and they don't.
That's okay.
I'm gonna be there, but I'm gonna listen to it later on the podcast. So
I think what we're going to do is we'll get in touch with the developers, and we'll require that anybody who gets an apartment in these new apartment complexes here, they'll be required to listen to our shows every Wednesday.
they should just pump into their.
Yes, we're going to install
your
some
best.
big megaphones on the studio here.
Does somebody come on at 1? Can we? We're just still talking.
I'm going to ride around in the van with speakers so everybody can hear.
That's right.
Like an ice cream truck.
Oh my God. Woody looks like an ice cream truck.
Yeah, you're
driver,
welcome,
doesn't he?
Bedford.
Watts Creative Studios,
Yeah.
little ice cream truck with the Christmas music. You gotta pump Christmas music on it.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
Well, thank you everyone for listening in today to Talk Local to Me, and make sure that you listen today at 5 for Life, Liberty, Happiness, and follow Grove Street FM, and check out the other fantastic shows that we have that are local coming to you.